This video will explain the basic options for creating a new job type. Job types are Cordic's way of converting the rules that you use to price up your jobs into a format that the system can use. Typically, most companies have a combination of fixed prices, formulas for mileage rates, waiting times, flat rate charges for things like buyers, baby seats, pets and anything else you need to charge for. These are referred to as charges in the Cordic system. In a job type, these are displayed in a series of tabs near the top of the screen. Some charges can vary based on the vehicle used for the job, whether it's a busy time or a holiday, or based on the pickup location. Changes to charges like this are called tariffs. In the job type, if a charge has tariffs, they will be displayed in a row of tabs about halfway down the screen. Create a new job type by right-clicking anywhere in the Job Types box and selecting New Job Type. Let's start with an overview of the tabs. I'll explain the options in more detail later in the video. The Details tab has a lot of options that control how the job type behaves. The Current Charges tab displays the charges being used by the system right now. Obviously this is blank on a new job type as we haven't set up any charges yet. But a job type that has been set up might look something like this. The Required Driver Attributes tab and Required Vehicle Attributes tab allow you to select any attributes that will be ticked automatically for jobs booked using this job type. So, you might have a driver attribute called Account Work that is automatically ticked for all bookings using this job type. Only drivers with the attribute would get these jobs. Anything you write in the Operator Notes box will be displayed in CallBooker when this job type is selected. The arrival notes appear on the PDA when the driver presses Arrive. You can enable the signature box at the end of a job by ticking Required Signature in the Account Details screen or here in the job type. In the Charging Rules section, ticking Force as Directed jobs to be repriced at the end of the job means that jobs booked without a destination can be priced when the driver presses Pay. The system identifies the nearest postcode and, depending on how your job type is configured, will typically look for a fixed price for this journey or use PDA mileage to calculate the fare. This will be a cash job type if passenger pays cash is ticked, otherwise it will be an account job type. Ticking the Add Standard Charges box adds a Standard Charge tab to the job type. Standard charges are limited to either a flat rate or driver-entered charge and are set up in system parameters. If you don't allow operators to see account charges, by default they will still be able to see the charge quantities. So, a surcharge would show the total account charge. You can hide the charge quantities from these operators by ticking the option Hide Entered by Operator Charges if operator not allowed to view account charges. If you have a dead legs charge, you will need to put in a postcode which is used as a starting point for calculating the dead legs mileage. Typically this will be your office or some point in the centre of your working area. We will discuss how to create different charges in separate videos. To start with, let's look at the options available for creating a new charge. Create a new charge by clicking the New Charge button. Let's look at the options for setting up the charge. You can select a charge name from the drop list or type in a new one. The Invoice As feature allows you to simplify your charges on an invoice by grouping together several charges to produce a subtotal. You might group together charges for fixed prices, mileage and vias under the Invoice As name of Fare. If you charge your driver's commission, there will be some charges that you don't want to be included in the commissionable total. Charges like car parking or toll fees, for example. For costs that a driver has already paid out and need to be reimbursed, tick Class as Expenses to avoid the charge incurring a commission. The charge basis is used to choose where to get the information to work out the charge. Some of the charge bases will be familiar, like operator entered or driver entered. Others, like outside matrix or PDA waiting time, might not be so obvious. Some of the charge bases will allow you to choose an alt or alternative charge basis. So if the system can't price the job using the first charge, there will be an alternative method to find a price. For example, You might have some fixed prices saved in a matrix, but if the job doesn't match one of those journeys, you allow the operator to type in a price. Look out for specific videos that show you how these different charge bases work. The charge by selector sets the units for the charge and is designed to stop you accidentally mixing up units in a charge. You will only see matrices and formulas matching the charge by units you have selected, so you will see a charge by selector on the charge, on matrices and on formulas. Sometimes the charge basis will be selected for you, other times you can choose it yourself. As we said earlier, tariffs are a way of adjusting the main charge because, for example, you have different vehicle rates. Give the tariff a name that describes what it does, like standard waiting or double time. If the tariff is linked to an attribute so that it's only used when the attribute is ticked, the attribute will appear here. If the charge uses matrices, you can select up to 2 in the first and second choice matrix drop lists. Remember, what you see in the list depends on the charge by units selected earlier. If it's relevant, you can select a formula from the formula drop list, remembering again that what you see in the list depends on the charge by units. The next section calculates what the account or passenger pay and what the driver gets or pays. You might need to type in an amount or a percentage depending on how the tariff is set up. It's worth noting that you can credit an account or a passenger by making the value a negative number. Don't get confused between charges and tariffs. Charges will be for totally different things like mileage or waiting time. Don't create separate charges for different vehicle rates. You'll have one mileage charge with tariffs for the different vehicle rates. Make sure you have the correct charge selected before you click the New Tariff button. Tariff validity takes a bit of explaining, so we'll cover that in a separate video. The Delete Tariff button will delete the tariff that's currently visible. Along the bottom are buttons to delete the currently selected charge, clone it or copy the charge, and create a new blank charge. When you save a job type, you will notice extra tabs the next time you open it. The Old Charges tab are the charges used immediately before they were replaced by the charges shown in the Current Charges tab, which are the rules currently in use by the system. If you need to edit your charges, click the Future Charges button and select the date that you want the charges to become active. Usually that needs to be today, so that you can see the changes immediately. If you select a date in the future, don't forget to set an advanced date on the jobs that you use to test the pricing. As there's no way of going back to the old charges, it's strongly recommended that you make any significant changes to a copy of your job type. Then, if there's a problem, you can revert back to the original job type while you fix the problem. This is just the starting point for creating and customizing your pricing rules. Don't forget to watch the other videos related to pricing. Thanks for watching this video.